probably have to. She doesn't have a headset.
I have a radio, so I'm hearing everything you and Jesse say. I just can't talk back. The gentleman with the horns are upstairs with me right now. Okay.
When she comes out the car, she goes in the building and go back to the way she comes. Excellency, the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
Good evening. With the permission of my ancestors, I bow to the omnipotent divinity and the universality of God in all manifestations of life, of different races, ethnicities, and religious beliefs. I call on the omnipresent divinity of creation, the owner of this day, as we celebrate this ceremonial opening of the first session of the 12th Parliament, 2020. I ask for gracious blessing for Her Excellency, the President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Prime Minister, the Honorable Chief Justice, the Senate, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Leader of Opposition, all members of Parliament, all senators, administrative staff, the security services, and all persons who are part of the operations of this noble house. I pray that you honor the oath of office to perform your duties without fear or favor, malice or ill will, and to do what is right to serve the people of this nation, that the decision taken in this house be for the best interests of the people of this land. There is a stark reality that confronts us today, a darkness called COVID-19, which has brought death throughout the world, accompanied with sadness, isolation, restrictions of gatherings and movement, positive infections, and face masks. Have you ever asked yourself, how is it that no animals, no birds, no fishes, no fowl, no plants are dying, nor wearing face masks? It is only as human beings that are ill and dying, while Mother Earth is renewing herself. We must acknowledge our own situation in Trinidad and Tobago today. With the increased infections during the second wave, this is real. I think that this year, 2020, will never be forgotten. I see an end and a beginning, and I'm not referring to 2020 vision, which is the standard of how a normal person sees. I pray that we activate our collective consciousness to this reality. The world has changed. I pray that there will be a healing with a good vision after COVID-19 for the future of this nation, a good vision for good health services, a good vision for restarting the economy, for improved education, for improved safety and security, for activating the agriculture and farming sector, for better job and housing, job security and housing, for protection of the environment, and the protection of our elderly, our women, our children, our menfolk, all geared towards a better life. I pray continually that the creative energies of the eternal light shines brightly to illuminate this darkness and continues its brilliance towards the development and future of this republic and its people, and that we all continue to live in harmony, in peace, in love, in good race relations, in mutual respect and understanding for each other, because every creed and race can find their equal place in this land. As I close, I pray for all gathered here, those who are viewing live, all nationals of this country, far and wide, and for all those who are waiting clearance to return home. On behalf of my family and I, on behalf of the interreligious organization, I wish all nationals of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago a happy clearance to return home. On behalf of my family and I, on behalf of the interreligious organization, I wish all nationals of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago a happy and blessed 50th Independence Anniversary. May God bless and protect our rainbow nation. Ashe, ashe, ashe. May it be so. Blessings to all.
Madam President of the Senate, Madam Speaker of the House, honorable members of Parliament, I thank Madam Speaker for her kind invitation to address both houses at this first session of the 12th Parliament of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. As the only member of Parliament whose tenure ran unbroken in the transition from the last Parliament to this one, I make bold to welcome you to this afternoon's proceedings, whether you are here for the first time or the umpteenth. You all took your respective oath this morning to conscientiously and impartially discharge your responsibilities to the people of this nation. The essence of the relationship between members of Parliament and the public is one of trust, confidence, and fidelity. Notwithstanding some significant milestones over the years, the strength of that bond has been eroded by the failure of successive parliaments to deliver consistently on the reasonable expectations of the populace. And to make matters worse, citizens have come to feel that they have been repeatedly forsaken, betrayed, and mamagayed by those they have put in a position to make laws for their peace, order, and good governance. Members of the 12th Parliament, I need to ask you a personal question. Can we trust you? I'm asking for a friend. Or more precisely, firstly, for the roughly 658,000 citizens who on August the 10th did their civic duty, hoping that you prove ready, willing, and able to ensure their security, prosperity, and future, as well as for the rest of the population. Honorable members, can we trust you to discharge your functions in accordance with your oath? Your core function is lawmaking, an essential service in our democracy, one which gives you the power to transform the lives of our citizens and our nation. Each of you seated in these chambers has the primary purpose of conducting the people's business. Your being here today suggests your willingness to discharge your duties in a thorough and responsible manner and to treat all persons equally. Whether you arrived via the ballot box or by virtue of selection, it is vital at this time that you have a full grasp of your remit and your limitations and are totally committed to the task at hand. That is the only way you will be able to keep the promises inherent in your oath. In the words of author Roy T. Bennett, consistency is the true foundation of trust. Either keep your promises or do not make them. You might think this advice is a little too late, since you already make your promises to the nation this morning in your oath. But now is the right time to begin keeping those promises. Can we trust you to measure up to the standards required of high office? You have heard, no doubt, that with great power comes great responsibility. Apart from your legislative function, there are other requirements and expectations of you. I see many new parliamentarians among our number. You will have to mature into your role very quickly. Make no mistake, your grace period, if indeed there was one, was between the election or your appointment and the convening of Parliament today. And from today, you are expected to get down to managing the affairs of the public. The novelty of being a parliamentarian is not an acceptable excuse for any shortcomings. In this form of service, there is no such thing as beyond the call of duty. Be prepared to work selflessly and tirelessly for the duration of your term. It will be a long haul. The Prime Minister's recent reference to 60 months perhaps puts it in its right perspective. Drawn-out days, sleepless nights, and lengthy debates into the wee hours of the morning will be par for the course. But they are just some of the sacrifices you must be prepared to make. Parliament requires persons of high caliber. Respect, self-control, and patience must be your guiding principles both within and without these halls. It is said that a person's character is indivisible. You are required to conduct yourself in your private affairs in the same exemplary manner as you conduct the affairs of Parliament. You are automatically role models for many of our youngest citizens and must uphold the highest standards of behavior for the benefit of both the business of these chambers as well as for those who will take pattern. Many of your offices fall among the top tiers in our table of precedence, and as responsible office holders, you are expected to acquit yourselves accordingly. Can we trust you to listen to what we are saying, empathize, and show compassion for our hardship? The general complaint is that after an election, constituents only see their members of Parliament in the lead-up to the next election. When canvassing for votes, you are omnipresent, all ears and full of concern for their plight. But once you win your seat, you become remote, busy, and unavailable to your constituents. The people who exercise their franchise in your favor want to be assured that they will get value for their vote. They want you to listen to, not just hear, what they are saying, understand their hopes and fears, and bring their concerns to this august body. You are now their power source, as they were yours 18 days ago. They want you to use your time in these chambers to represent their interests, not to engage in frivolous and irrelevant crosstalk. Although I do admit that a little well-placed pecan can ease the tension. On another level, when Parliament's committees interact with government officials, interested parties, legal and other professional associations, and the general public, there must be a genuine attempt to solicit valuable input that is considered seriously in the eventual lawmaking process. Members of Parliament, can we trust you to put aside narrow partisan interests and work together for the good of us all? And can we trust the non-partisan independent bench to remain above the fray and serve the interests of the whole? The difference between a politician and a statesman, according to American writer James Freeman Clarke, is that a politician thinks about the next election, while the statesman thinks about the next generation. As you make your contributions and finally vote on proposed legislation, what is your true focus? Of course, voting along party lines has its place, but at the end of the day, what is the desired outcome? It can only be the welfare of Trinidad and Tobago as a whole. The man in the street is not concerned about the political gamesmanship that often unfolds in these chambers. He wants timely legislation that improves his quality of life and uplifts the nation. And that requires that parties, without sacrificing their principles, work together to achieve the common good. And that the independent branch serves to bridge any gaps by its objective approach and loyalty to only the people. If there was ever a time for government, opposition, and independent benches to work together, that time is now, given the COVID-19 pandemic and its exacerbation of pre-existing problems. Can we trust you to bring your A-game to these chambers, taking night to make day if necessary, so that you can make a meaningful contribution? Parliamentary debates can sometimes be long and tedious, but that does not give carte blanche to members to become disengaged from the process. How many times has the public been witness to members who were nodding off, engrossed in their phones, or otherwise showing no interest in the ongoing debate? However challenging the process, members of the public expect you to remain alert in order to actively defend their interests. Whether or not the bill under debate requires your input or is within your area of expertise, it is almost certain to affect some, if not all, of your constituents. Even when you're not on your feet, citizens expect your full participation in the process. And when you do make a contribution to the debate, let it be well-informed, coherent, and digestible by the average person. There are many sayings about trust, but the one I favor and find apposite for this gathering is by former British politician Chris Butler. Trust is earned when actions meet words. By putting yourself forward for election and or by agreeing to be appointed to the Senate, you have spoken. Now is the time for you to act. This morning, I have asked all the questions, but I invite you to engage in some timely introspection and ask these same questions and others of yourselves and each other. What is my track record in Parliament and elsewhere? What sacrifices am I willing to make? What are my intentions, aspirations, and motivations? Are they aligned with my true purpose of serving the people of our Twin Island Republic? The correct answers to these questions will reassure us that we can trust you. And that, honorable members, is all that we really ask. Thank you.